There's someone in your life you keep forgiving, and they keep hurting you. You are trapped in a painful cycle of hope and disappointment, and a part of you believes it's your fault, that you just aren't being forgiving enough. But what if I told you that forgiving them, in the way you've been trying to, is the worst possible choice you can make? What if the strongest, wisest, and most rational decision is to never let them back into your life again? This video is about breaking that cycle. We're not talking about holding grudges. That's a poison you drink yourself, hoping the other person suffers. We're talking about something more important: self-preservation. Drawing on the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, we will expose 5 toxic personality types who will only hurt you again. Pay close attention, because the 5th person on this list is the most dangerous of all. They are so subtly destructive that most people don't recognize the threat until the damage is already done. By the end of this video, you will have a clear framework to identify these patterns, set permanent boundaries without guilt, and finally reclaim your peace. Before we begin, if you believe in protecting your peace of mind, subscribe for more content on living a life of strength and tranquility. Now, let's fortify your mind. First on the list is the chronic manipulator. This isn't about a simple misunderstanding. This is the person who systematically uses gaslighting, guilt trips, and emotional leverage to warp your sense of reality. They are the ones who say, "You're being far too sensitive, Taz," to invalidate your feelings, or, "If you really trusted me, you would," to demand loyalty they haven't earned. These tactics are engineered to make you doubt your own mind, keeping you in a state of confusion and dependence. Reconciling with a person like this is like inviting poison into your inner citadel. A popular interpretation of Marcus Aurelius's wisdom warns us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you are constantly entangled with a manipulator, your thoughts become dyed with their chaos, doubt, and anxiety. Your ability to think clearly, a cornerstone of Stoicism, is compromised. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus would suggest that people often do wrong out of ignorance. They mistake what is truly good. The manipulator may genuinely believe that controlling you is the path to their own happiness. But understanding their ignorance does not mean you must become a casualty of it. The only rational response is detachment. You forgive internally by releasing your anger, recognizing their actions stem from a broken worldview, but you must create an unbreakable external boundary. This is not a punishment, it is essential mental hygiene. By refusing to participate in their psychological games, you are protecting your capacity for clear judgment and peace. You are choosing to prioritize your own well-being over a relationship that demands the sacrifice of your mind. Next, we must address the pattern of repeated abuse, whether psychological or physical. A crucial distinction must be made here. We are not talking about a one-time mistake, followed by genuine, profound remorse. We are talking about a clear, destructive pattern of behavior. This is the person who apologizes, swears it will never happen again, and then inflicts the same harm over and over. To offer reconciliation here is to willingly step back into a known cycle of harm. The Stoics taught that the highest good is not avoiding pain, but living a life of reason, justice, and self-control. Knowingly allowing yourself to be hurt repeatedly violates the virtue of self-respect. It is a betrayal of your own rational mind. In his essays on anger, Seneca explains that reason, not rage, is the proper tool for responding to injustice. While anger clouds our judgment, a calm, rational assessment reveals the truth. If someone has proven through a consistent pattern that they will hurt you, reason demands you protect yourself. Welcoming them back into your life is not a virtuous or merciful act. It is an act that willfully ignores the evidence. A popular paraphrase from Marcus Aurelius states, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. This is not about pretending the abuse never happened. It's about exercising the ultimate power you possess, the power to choose not to give that person the access to harm you again. You must release the internal harm of resentment, but you must rationally and permanently wall off the external threat. Third on our list is the chronic deceiver. For this person, lying is not a last resort. It is a first instinct. Their dishonesty is not about small white lies, but is a core component of how they navigate the world. This behavior shatters the very foundation of any healthy relationship. Trust. To be with them is to live in a state of constant suspicion, forced to second-guess every word and question every motive. Stoic philosophy teaches that we are social creatures by nature, meant to cooperate with honesty for the common good. A person who lies constantly acts against this very nature. As Epictetus taught, all wrongdoing stems from an ignorance of what is good and true. The chronic liar is fundamentally disconnected from reality, believing their deceptions are a valid tool to get what they want. While you can feel compassion for their ignorance, you have a higher duty to your own rational mind. Constant exposure to lies makes it difficult to distinguish truth from fiction, not just in them, but in yourself. As Seneca said, holding a grudge is a poison you drink yourself. So yes, you must internally forgive the liar to free yourself from the bitterness their actions create. But reconciliation is another matter entirely. To keep allowing someone who operates on a platform of deceit back into your life is to disrespect the truth itself. The Stoic path is one of clarity, and you cannot walk it while holding hands with someone committed to confusion. The only logical move is to create distance, not from a place of malice, but to protect your own connection to reality. As Marcus Aurelius might say, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. And being a good person requires you to build your life on the firm ground of truth, far from the quicksand of their lies. The fourth pattern is intentional betrayal, carried out with full awareness. This is profoundly different from someone who makes a mistake out of weakness or confusion. This is the person who understood the trust you placed in them, fully comprehended the devastating consequences of their actions, and chose to betray you anyway. The harm they inflicted was not an accident. It was a choice. Even here, a Stoic would argue this betrayal springs from deep ignorance, a twisted understanding of what constitutes a good life. But that philosophical insight does not change the facts on the ground. This person knew the trust you gave them, understood the damage they would cause, and proceeded. Their character is so flawed that reconciling with them becomes an act of irrational optimism. It means ignoring the crystal-clear data they have provided about who they are. The Stoics prized reason above all else, and reason tells you that a person who has knowingly and severely betrayed you once is fully capable of doing so again. Protecting your tranquility requires you to accept this hard reality. The Stoic response is to let go of personal anger and any desire for revenge, as these emotions only poison your own soul. As Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You become unlike your betrayer not by plotting against them, but by acting with wisdom and self-respect. In this case, wisdom means closing the gate to your fortress for good. You forgive to free your own mind, but you do not reopen it to someone who has already proven they are willing to burn it to the ground. Finally, we arrive at the most disturbing pattern, the person who not only hurts you, but appears to derive satisfaction or even pleasure from your suffering. This is not someone who is merely careless or selfish. This is the individual whose cruelty is delivered with a smirk, who mocks your pain, or who openly enjoys the power they have wielded to cause it. This behavior moves beyond simple ignorance and into the realm of profound moral corruption. From a Stoic perspective, a person like this is utterly disconnected from their own humanity, acting in the most unnatural way possible. While Seneca would warn you against giving in to rage, he would demand a rational response. And reason dictates that someone who enjoys your pain is fundamentally unsafe. The only viable approach is absolute detachment. You must view this person as you would a natural disaster, a destructive force to be avoided for your own safety. You work on your inner state to ensure you are not consumed by hatred, because that would be letting them win. But you establish an unbreakable external boundary. You owe them nothing. Your duty is to your own virtue and your own peace. Reconciling with someone who feeds on your pain isn't forgiveness, it is self-abandonment. Protect your fortress at all costs. So we have walked through 5 deeply harmful patterns: the chronic manipulator, the repeated abuser, the chronic deceiver, the intentional betrayer, and the one who enjoys your pain. The Stoic path is not about being a doormat. It is a path of immense strength built on the foundation of reason. The key takeaway is the crucial difference between internal forgiveness and external reconciliation. You must forgive internally to free yourself from toxic emotions like anger and resentment, which only harm you. Holding a grudge is like letting someone live rent-free in your head. However, achieving that internal peace does not require you to reopen your life to those who have proven they will destroy it. Setting firm, permanent boundaries is not an act of malice. It is a rational, virtuous act of self-preservation. It is the highest form of self-respect. You are simply acknowledging the truth of their actions and choosing to protect your mind, your peace, and your ability to live a good life. You have the power to control who gets access to you. Use that power wisely. If this message resonates with you and you are ready to reclaim your inner peace, comment "I can do it" below to affirm your strength and join our community of modern Stoics. Thank you for watching.